really?
It's totally my end, but we're having a good time. I'm cranking it down a little bit, but that's all right.
You gotta cool it.
We gotta cool it. We're just too hyped.
Too hot, too hype on Wednesday.
Because you know why? It's
We're back.
the Budrush. Bellow. What is going on, everyone? I'm your host, Tommy Fresh. You are all my buds, as always. And this is the Budrush Bellow, a live podcast brought to you by the Fresh and Buds crew. Who are the Fresh and Buds crew, you may ask? It's me, Tommy Fresh, and today we are joined, as always, by Mr. Viz, a.k.a. Gary. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. Doing really well. I'm happy to be on the crew. Part of the being on the crew is dealing with you for about, an hour on Wednesdays, and, it's a sacrifice I have to make, but here I am.
Yeah. All right, that's the show, everyone. No. And also the crew is Greg, producer, obviously. Henry Flake is in chat. Henry. I didn't have anybody named Henry in my family, but Greg is also in the crew, but he's a producer on Fresh and Buds, and he usually hangs out in chat, but I think he's editing the show right now, which was a great show, which everybody can check out tomorrow. It is with Brian Gottlieb, who, if you don't know who Brian Gottlieb is, what are you doing with your life? He is just the bee's knees, the who's who, the cat's pajamas in the TCG world, and especially Flesh and Blood these days. He is just a beautiful, beautiful man, and we had a great chat, and I'm excited for everybody to hear what he had to say. As always, but we got a great...
I think I have an SDG squirrel token with him on it somewhere in my boxes.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. I think I was looking for pictures to put on the thumbnail, and that picture came up. I was like, well, I can't do that one. Capolo might be too happy, but anyway, we got a great show for you all this evening. We're gonna crack some packs, hopefully, if we roll well. I got brand new dice that I'm gonna roll. I don't usually roll. So you'll see a real brute player roll for the packs, and then
only one.
And we got a huge Scabskin moment of the week, absolutely like killer. We had to take the week off last week because I was away, so we're gonna recap Pittsburgh, which was a great time, and then also I had an RTN on Sunday that I top 8'd, so I would like to talk about that as well because this is why I have my own show. I like to talk about myself, and I like to play Flesh and Blood. Whatever game it is, guys. And then we're gonna dive into a little speculation on Dusk Till Dawn on what the legendaries are gonna be, because we have 8 of them, so we're gonna draft our picks for what classes, talents, and or even generic. Generic is a good guess, probably. Which ones are gonna get the legendary treatment for this set? So that's gonna be fun. And then we got an epic meal of the week, because I know what Gary's is, but mine is I'm going to show you something live on air, so stick around for the end. It should be a good time. I'm going to show you something that
live on air, a meal of the week live on air.
Yeah. Well, it's a snack of the week, but it's going to be kind of a meal of the week. We're going to get a little wacky, but before we get to all that, we have some stuff to go over. Did everybody do their homework? You can submit it via my Venmo. I don't know. We're just going a little crazy tonight. But I want to shout out to the Buds Discord.
It's the air.
It is the air. It's the smoky air. What the hell is going on up in Canada?
What you doing up there, Flake?
Yeah. Well, I think it's coming from Quebec, not
to go there in 2 weeks, so we'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my Atlanta. Anyway, Gary's gonna die in Quebec. And the Buds Discord is the best place to be in Flesh and Blood. It's a good community. It's great people. We all treat each other with respect and kindness. And sometimes we get a little heated about how many rune chants something's going to create. Whatever. I don't get in on that, but it's a good time in there. You can jam some games, hang out, whatever. I also want to shout out to Patreon. Helps keeps the mics hot, the lights on. It is a really cool place. Any pack that we don't open tonight will be open on the Patreon, which is very fun. Hopefully get my first Fabled ever. And then, what else? YouTube. You're watching on YouTube. Might as well subscribe, because at 500 subscribers, I'm gonna do a full adult Levi cosplay, and Sigma is doing the Runeblade homework currently. That's pretty funny. And Gary will be the rabbit that Levi had to sacrifice. It's gonna be a freaking a hoot of a time. And
it's gonna be soon.
Soon, yeah.
$395.
$395. Yeah, we're getting there. 105 more. So, tell your friends, tell your family, whoever.
Make your grandma subscribe.
Get your grandma to subscribe. It's gonna be a freaking blast. And then, yeah, the check out the podcast. As I said before, Brian Gottlieb tomorrow. I believe we're gonna have Sin Gaming next week. We're gonna talk about some crazy stuff with Sin, and we're even probably gonna talk.
Coming on?
I think Sin's gonna come on. I think Sin. We got a couple big episodes coming up. We got Sin coming on in a week. I think in 2 weeks we get Kale from Dead Summer Art. We're gonna do our Dusk Till Dawn speculation of lore stuff. Bill is returning for the set review. I mean, who's better than Bill? Just sits. I mean, you get to do an hour with me. He gets to do 5 in a row.
You guys, whenever that video is posted, it's really fun to watch the window. Because as the time goes on, it's morning, or at least the daytime, and then by the end of, it's usually like the commons or whatever, and at the end of the set, it's dark, or it goes into day 2. Depends how long it goes.
Yeah, it's a freaking, it is insane, man. But I can't wait to the review, and hopefully we got some really cool stuff coming for you this summer from the Fresh and Bloods crew. But without further ado, let's get to the show here. How are you doing? I don't think I asked you how you're doing.
I'm doing all right, man. I ate a lot of pasta tonight, so I'm feeling a little bloated. Cool. But getting ready to go to Canada in 2 weeks, so it's not a great vibe to see that it's on fire. So yeah, but what can you do, right? What can you do? You move on. It is what it is. Hey, listen,
That's what I've been saying that for years, right?
Honestly, you came out saying it.
I came out saying it. My mom was like, "Who's this guy talking about?" Anyway, we got some packs. We got Outsider packs. I got them from the Portal Gaming in Bethlehem, or Bethlehem, however you want to say it, Pennsylvania. Great store. Got to meet the TO Todd, who was a really good bud. He was a lot of fun to chat with, and he's doing a great job with that store. And I won 6 packs in the top 8. I did not make the top 4, but I can't go to Vegas anyway, so no harm, no foul. And we're gonna crack some packs. And usually Gary rolls the dice, but I have a Red Rock dice because I was in Colorado last week, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But I'm gonna roll one of these. It came with a bunch of different ones. We got a skull, a little gem, all that.
Little rupee.
Little rupee. So we're gonna roll it. The Red Rock is the one, so we don't want that. But let's see.
We don't want to roll rock.
And our Gambler's Gloves today is shout out to Anna Shreves, the Rune Babe, her little koozies that she made. Rune chug. But anyway, hopefully we don't have to crack them, and I can just use that as a koozie. All right, ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Oh,
that's a 2.
One pack.
That's one pack. I think we're gonna crack that bad boy.
We're gonna crack it. All right, let's do it. No rock.
Let me put my cork 0 in the koozie there. All right.
That sentence was a chaotic mess of accents.
yeah, because my river trash accent came out, and I was trying to be New Zealand. It's a little tough. Yeah. Oh, okay. Boom. All right, we got big
upgrade.
All right. We'll save Riptide for the Patreon, but we'll open these 2. All
right, let's see.
I found that. What was that?
Our last sealed was with the Japanese packs. Have you opened any of those yet?
Yeah. I had to at RTN.
I'm not used to them.
No.
It's so different.
They are very different. Now. I've found that Outsiders does not have the best jokes.
Oh, okay.
For the cards.
But Actually, I have a cool. If we open a freewheeling Renegades, I have a cool joke about it. So,
Okay. Well, we don't need to
um,
joke about this card because this card's gas.
yeah,
Ravenous
this
Rabble
card's
red.
yeah,
Pretty good. Scout the Periphery yellow. I mean,
yeah.
I would never say no to that, to be honest. I'm going to put the Ravenous
We're
Rebel.
taking Rabble first though for so far.
Brush off red. We're going to brush it off for another pick.
Mm-hmm.
Widowmaker blue, the best blue in the set. Certainly very good, but not
Over
better
Blue
than
Isolate?
Ravenous Rebel. What was that?
Blue Isolate is worse than Blue Widowmaker.
In my opinion.
So flawed. Got it.
Yeah. Isolate yellow, fine. Blue Falcon is the only card like the only Ranger card you can play in Ranger that lets you play looking for a scrap.
Yeah.
1-2 punch.
Love blue 1-2 punch.
1-2.
Kadachi.
We like Kadachi's Prowl. Certainly a good card. Red Murkmire Grapnel. This is a mouthful.
No, it's a grapnel.
It's a grapnel. Short and sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Ooh, big old burp.
I feel like it's better than Ravenous Rabble, right? I don't know. What does this card do?
It's good in Azuri. It's basically really good in Azuri, but not great in anything else. It doesn't have Go again, so I think it's worse than Ravenous Rebel.
Okay, it's cool. It's gonna be really good in this next set. Maybe.
Yeah.
Blue Humble's totally fine.
I do love Blue Humble.
Foil Toxicity, pretty, but not where we want to be. Seeker's Hood, and then tokens.
Blood Rot. Okay, so I didn't get to tell my freewheeling Renegade story / joke.
We still have another pack.
We got maybe it'll be a patron exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, turn this to the Patreon. Andrew, how you doing, buddy? How's that drink treating you? I saw you're getting a little sauced.
Sauce all over yet?
Sauce on a Wednesday.
We got to get sauced on a Wednesday.
Blue Seek Horizon. We're gonna seek a different horizon. Red Feisty Locals. Shout out to Jim and Evan.
Your Feisty Locals?
No. The DC folks. Jim from Fat TCG cards.
Oh, nice.
Blue Ravenous Rabble. Yuck.
Yuck.
When's the? I mean, so all right. You would only use this if
Azalea maybe.
Kadachi's.
Or Azalea maybe.
Azalea maybe, or if you had a deck filled with Gorganian tomes. That one seems the least likely, but we'll keep it open. Blue Head Jab's fine, but I think Red Widowmaker is better. But that's just because Red
Widowmaker's
Sedate is pretty good. Blue Deadly Duo, good, very good.
Very good. Skybound Shot.
Yellow, it's fine. Blue Plunge.
Widowmaker's the best right now. Toxicity's good. We got 2 blue toxicities in our 2 packs.
Yeah. Spinning Wheel Kick. Fine. Ooh, foil.
Ooh,
I would take the Falcon
card.
Wing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Seeker's Nets. So
all right, so no freewheeling Renegades.
No freewheeling. Yeah, well, not till
the patron. That's if you want to hear a joke / a story about freewheeling Renegades, sign up for the Patreon.
Sign up for the Patreon. Worth it.
Because honestly, the jokes for this set not great.
Right? We just went through that, and the jokes were not good, but
not good. Honestly, I miss the Dynasty jokes.
The Dynasty. Tommy, which of us is drunk? I only just started drinking. This is just a constant state of who I am, Andrew. Trust me.
It's a maintenance. It's a maintenance wasted.
It's
like a maintenance high. You know, you gotta in order to maintain your. Gotta be high or whatever.
Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't know anything about that because I have a cool straight edge podcast, which it is. I swear, nobody believes me, but it's true. But hey, man, dude, what a great weekend we had 2 weeks ago. Oh wait,
You want to talk about your Scabskin moment of the week?
Oh yeah, Scabskin moment of the week. What are we? You're trying to
What
skip?
are we doing? What are we doing?
This guy.
You know what? You throw me off. You throw me off because I'm so used to rolling. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
yeah.
rolling with. I'm not. You were rolling with the rock there, and I was not. I'm not used to rolling here.
Well, speaking of rocks, I was at Red Rocks last week. I went to go see a show. I went to go see one of my favorite bands, Lord Huron. So little known fact, my lady fresh, her name is Rhiannon. She's very, very cool, and very nice, and puts up with me. So she's got to be awesome. And thank you, Crixus. I appreciate that comment. Crixus says, "I just always seem so chill. I try to be chill, but I can be uptight. Don't catch me in a car during rush hour."
Oh yeah, I've seen you in that Virginia traffic.
Yeah, I was like, "Ah." But anyway, so I have this significant other, Rhiannon, and our music tastes do not align ever, but we both like Lord Huron. So the first show we ever saw together was Lord Huron, maybe like 2 years ago in Philly, and it was awesome, really cool. We had a great time, and then I saw Lord Huron was playing Red Rocks, which I have been to many times to see my favorite band, Trampled by Turtles. And I was like, well, this is the best place to see a concert in the country. Well, I'm going to get tickets. We're going to go out. This is going to be our vacation for the year. So I planned that. And then I also decide, you know what? It's probably a good time to propose to this woman that's the best, right? So anyway, spy ring, all that fun stuff, normal, adult and love things. And I make it sound really cool.
Yeah. How like chill are you? Would you say just doing normal, average adult things like and love things?
Just how it is. Just like anyway. Anyway, so the day of the concert comes, and there's like some rain like on the weather app, and I'm like, okay, I've gotten a little bit of rain here and there at the show just for a hot second, then it kind of dissipates because the mountains, whatever. Because like Red Rocks, if you don't know, it's a natural amphitheater with these big red rocks, and it's like basically on the side of a mountain, and it's really cool. You don't get a lot of rain there because Colorado's so dry, but they were getting record rainfall and snowfall in Colorado that year. This year, and so the opener was okay, and then all of a sudden just downpour, and it's like cold, right? It was like 50, 60 degrees, and we were chilly. We didn't have ponchos or anything, and she runs and gets ponchos while I save our seats, and all the while I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. I have this stupid ring in my pocket, and and what the heck? I'm rolling a 1 right now. This is my I was like thinking, this is my Scabskin moment of the week. Like, I'm rolling the biggest 1 right now because they didn't even come out onto the stage. They had to postpone it because the whole venue's outside. They postponed it for an hour, and I'm like, oh my god, like, are they gonna cancel it? They ended up not canceling it. It slowed down a little bit. They cleaned up the stage a little bit, and then and we had the ponchos. We were all okay. It did get very chilly, but the rain did stop. Oh, also another thing, before the show even started, we're sitting there, and this poor woman behind us falls 4 stairs down and lands onto a couple that's sitting next to us. I mean, she rolled a bigger 1 than me. That was a that was a double 1.
-1.
But honestly, if she did not land on the couple next to us, she would have been way more hurt. They like broke her fall. And like her poor tacos went all over the place because she was carrying tacos down to her seat. But anyway,
more like falling tacos rather than a walking tacos.
Amen. But that's what I'm talking about. But so anyway, it gets like cold and windy, and then like one of their set pieces on the stage falls down, and they have to like postpone it again. I'm like, what the heck is happening, man? I'm like, this is like, it's like, I was like, if I was like a superstitious person, I would have been like, this is a sign, don't do it. But but they killed it anyway. Lord Huron went out and they put on such a professional show and just like played so good. And then the end of the show came, And I was like, oh, let's walk up to the top of the steps. We had a great view of the stage, the rocks, everything. And she's like, oh, you have my phone. Let me take some pictures. I gave it to her, and she's taking pictures. And then I'm like, okay, because I had to put the ring in like a felt bag like this, because the actual box was bulging out of my pocket, and I had to hide that. And so I'm like trying to get the ring out of the thing, like looking away from her. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. And then
You got an itch, Tom.
and then I yeah, she's like, what's wrong with this guy? And then I finally get it. I'm like, you like these rocks? And she's like, what? I'm like, you like these rocks? She's like, yeah. And then I got down on one knee, and I was like, what about this rock? And I presented the diamond. I was like, will you marry me? And yeah, she said no, so we're not together anymore. But no,
That's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. I'm so sad. No, she said yes.
No reruns on the show.
Yeah, we were very happy, and it was a good time. So in the same like 3 to 4 hour period, I rolled a lot of ones, but one huge 6, and I'm very happy. And yeah, I can't wait for that part of the journey. So
yeah. Your ring's like a gambler's glove. Yes. Sometimes you just need it. You need to crack the ring out, and then you just gotta. It's all good.
Yeah. I should have broke it. I should have just smashed it.
Why didn't you do it?
I know what's wrong with me. It's like actually
up one of the rocks and thrown it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But anyway, that's the Scabskin moment of the week. Well,
that's a great moment of the week. Happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
It takes someone like Anna to get me to drink out of a rune chant koozie.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm really impressed that you're able to choke that down.
It wouldn't be the first time I heard that. Anyway. Jeez Louise, this is a family show.
Since when?
I don't know. Pittsburgh. What the heck happened in Pittsburgh? All right, I'll start it off because I got there first. Not to brag. And then you can finish it off because you were the last one to leave. Or not the last one to leave, but you left.
I was the last one. Well, yeah. Because Greg left before me.
He left before you? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had like a 6 a.m. flight.
Oh, I thought you left the night before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is great radio. But so Pittsburgh Brawl 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago at this point, was a blast. So Realm Games and Green Tree Sports Cards is the name of the they put on this brawl. They were having a brawl on the Saturday, Battle Hardened on the Sunday. So I go out there Friday. I get there right around when producer Greg, Darth Prentice, was landing. So I was like, all right, well, I'll pick him up. And I also was going to pick up Flake as well, but Flake got delayed.
He always is.
It's Canada, man. I mean, I don't know. But it's actually funny. It's Air Canada because he gets delays all the time. I know this because, and it's always Air Canada. It's like, we got to get Flake on a different airline. Spirit, maybe. I'm kidding. Anyway, so pick up Greg and we check into the hotel. Hotel's pretty awesome. We were supposed to have a couch, but we did not have a couch. We had two kind of like lounging chairs that I put together to make like a coffin of sorts. And I slept in that. That was very cool.
It was pretty comfy.
If you look at Fresh and Bud's YouTube channel shorts, you can see the one where I come out of like the coffin. That's what I slept in. It was Andrew says Flake almost flaked.
Well, Canada flaked on him.
Canada flaked on him.
Not the winter kind of flake.
Yeah. So we do that, and then we go out to dinner with like Flake, Logan, Jordan, Dagan, any other Gens, Keith, what's 3 floating?
Aiden.
Another
Aiden. Another Aiden.
I know. And that was a blast. Just kind of like hanging out, having some drinks and some burgers and stuff like that. It was a good hang. And then Greg left to meet you at the hotel, and I was like, okay, I'll just meet you at the hotel after. I'll grab a ride or whatever. And I settle up. I grab my Uber. I get there, and I'm about to walk up to the room. And Greg's like, Tommy? I was like, Greg? He's like,
I was late.
yeah, Gary was late. Wow, Gary's the real Canada in this story, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, then Gary got there, and what did we do that night?
I think we just
Chill?
we just chilled. Yeah, we walked to get. I got we were gonna get like diet root beer for you. But we went to get some Gatorades and some snacks going into the weekend, because you gotta have your electrolytes, gotta have some snacks. Pack a snack, pack a drink if you're gonna go to a tournament. But yeah, we just kind of chilled. We didn't do much Friday night because we were resting up.
Yeah. It was chill night. It was really just a chance for you and I to actually hang out with Greg. So like for those of you those of you listening, Greg, the producer on Fresh and Buds, this was his first event, right? And because he's a dad, he lives out in Kansas, and it's just hard. Anybody with kids knows how hard it is to do anything sometimes. And it was awesome that he got to hang out. And on top of that, Greg, Gary, and I are just always chatting about the channel and stuff to do and just like nonsense. We've become really tight friends over the the past year, and it was just like it felt like a really BBE moment just to kind of just hang out with the Mafia, the Fresh Mafia, and that was really cool.
Yeah, because me and you have been friends for years, but Greg, like, it's just kind of we never met him, but like one of the family once he shows up.
Greg's a rookie. We hazed him.
Greg's a rookie. No, but Greg was so great. Happy to hang out with him. I had a great time with Greg after you left, which I'll talk to in a little bit. But but Saturday was great. We went there a little bit early because I was supposed to judge, but I ended up on the standby judge. So I got to go into the events for free, but I didn't actually judge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was great. Me and Greg didn't do too well in the event, but so we dropped early to grab lunch, which is one of my favorite things to do. You drop early and then you grab a beer or something at a bar in the town of whatever event place you're going, because otherwise you're eating like a hot dog at a convention center for $15, and it's just like not about it, not the vibe.
Not the vibe at all.
Yeah, but Greg and I had a nice little lunch. We got some burgers again. His had a pierogi on it.
What?
Yeah, he got the Yinzer, which had. Well, no, we both got the Yinzer. The Yinzer, it was a burger. Yeah, the pierogi was good. I forgot that I got the one with the pierogi on it. Pierogi? It was killer. It was a pierogi. Yeah, I was gonna order you it too, but it was so funny because we were ordering. We were like, okay, we're gonna do a takeout order, and I say to Greg, I was like, okay, looking at this menu, I know Tom's gonna want the Chipotle because it's got the jalapeno on it. And he was like, and then I was like, I look at the text, I'm like, hey, look, he wants the Chipotle.
Also want to give a shout out in chat. Sigma says Greg Zame took a great deck there. Yes, Reinhard deck. And Radiata. Heyo. I don't know.
Heyo.
I'm really bad at pronouncing things. I think people will understand, hopefully. But
yeah, this is why you make a show where you just have to talk a lot about things.
Yeah. Well, then I get to talk about making the mistakes, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's all content.
It's all content. I'm like the Gary V of saying things wrong.
But yeah, no, the event was great. You did well. You got on stream.
I did. So for those listening and watching, I took Riptide, Orc Knight, aka Jesse Harper's list, to Pittsburgh. Started out 2-0, then went 2-1. lost a close one to Lexi, and then went 3-1. After 3-1, Jacob from Realm, thank you, love you. Go off to bed. Have a great night. Sleep tight, my friend. And then Jacob from the Realm's like, hey, you want to be on stream? I was like, yeah, I guess. So on stream, I get paired against my worst matchup, which is Oldham, being piloted by, I'm going to butcher his name, but Michael Jasker, who's
the third mic.
The number 3 ELO in the world.
Yeah.
So my first feature match is my worst matchup against someone who's infinitely better than me and probably 10 years younger than me, which is like just adds salt to the wound.
And come to the home turf.
Oh my god! First the wildfires, now this, now. But
speaking of wildfires, though.
Oh yeah,
Burke.
Burke, aka it's pronounced Visarai. Vasarai. Sorry. I'm really bad at it. Well, he's gonna have to forgive me because I said it wrong on the podcast tomorrow. But I did say AKA William Bodo, who top 8'd the brawl with Kano. He was just on a heater, man.
Oh yeah, he was on a big old heater. Honestly, when I watched his feature match, he had to hold him down to like 5 or something. And I saw him top deck like a ether flare into a blazing ether, and I was like, "Oh man!" Greg and I had to turn around. We were like, "He's got him." But yeah, he did really well. He top 8'd. Shout out to Burke as well. I rode to Pittsburgh with him and his partner. So we got to drive through all the tunnels on the way to Pittsburgh together. She showed me where he went to. We passed Pitt, so he showed me where he went to school there, and just shot some shit the whole ride. But yeah, he did really well. He played against a lot of big names: Cody Williams, Wanji. That table was stacked.
Oh
yeah, like that was like a nasty set of ringers over there. But and one like 17-year-old kid who's extremely good.
yeah. Well, I watched him pull off the impossible against Anna. They were playing, and Anna had him dead to rights, and I forget exactly what happened because it's Kano. He was on Kano, and he's flipping things, and it's all laid out onto the play mat.
With his cat dice.
Yeah, with his cat dice. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, God. I mean, I think he got it. It depends on what's on top. And it was the Blazing Aether, and he got it.
Oh.
And it was just like, what can you do? It's Kano. Like, it was pretty crazy, and like, obviously, Anna took it with complete grace. Anna did top 16 the event, which is awesome on Viscerai. Very, very cool.
Shout out to Anna. Also, I have the cutting board here that she made.
Very awesome. It was just a great weekend, and unfortunately the top 8 match with Burke was rough. I was watching it on the way home, and I was listening to it on the way home. I was driving, and I will say that Charmer and oh, there you go, William, blind tome into 2 blues into top deck Sonic into top deck Blazing. Oh my God, so dirty.
That's brutal.
And thank you Burke, for the record. But yeah, I mean, I was it was tough for me to listen to the top 8 match because Brendan and Charmer were like, what is going on? Like, it was obviously just some clunky hands for you, but I mean, it's pretty impressive. You made top 8. It's awesome.
Yeah, super proud. Hopefully you're gonna go to the RTI event in December, because I think top 8 gets an RTI. I didn't look at the list today, but
I'll tell you what, I'm going regardless if I qualify.
Oh yeah?
Probably. If it's in Columbus, it's pretty easy.
All right, maybe I'll tag along.
No.
That's gonna be a shitty ride.
Yeah, it's a long ride. It's not as long as North Carolina, but
yeah, that one was somehow that's crazy that Ohio is not as, like, because Pittsburgh feels like so far away.
It's a boring ride. to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It is
Sorry.
just
Sorry, Pitt people. It's a
no,
boring
no,
ride.
it's not Pittsburgh. It is just everything in between. It's
It's
just
middle Pennsylvania. That's the
you know.
yeah. A lot of sitting there.
Yeah, but how
But
was
yeah,
the Sunday?
what did we do Saturday night though? Because we did
Oh,
something.
oh, we went to the 5-iron thing.
Oh
The
yeah. The
speakeasy.
easy thing. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was really
I
cool.
I never golfed before in my life. You clearly have golfed before.
Yeah, yeah. You were getting a little. You were like, because I kept saying we want to see how far I can hit it.
Yeah.
You're
And
like,
you were
what? You're like, what is going on here?
well, you drank a bit by
Yeah.
that point,
Oh yeah.
and then but yeah, you were like knocking those
Swinging.
out of the park. I was really proud that when the one hit that the computer actually recognized, because I hit it a bunch of times, and the
Yeah.
computer was like, "Sorry, bud, that doesn't count." It was 69 yards. That's it.
Nice.
It was a nice hit.
Nice.
If I was playing Wii Golf, it would have said "nice shot."
Yeah, it would have. Also, I do want to address the elephant in the room. I know during my stream, my streamed match, I had these sleeves as my equipment, and Brendan Patrick, I almost said Brendan Fraser, Brendan Patrick, said these are mayonnaise sleeves, right? That says chunky blue cheese. Last I checked.
To
And
be fair, you weren't using them on your whole deck, so we could only see a few of them. You were using the sleeves with your son on it, right? So.
yeah, Hasbulla, but which I was using these sleeves for my whole deck. So things were getting a little. But he knew what that was because he came up after me. He was like, "Was that Hasbulla?" I was like, "Yeah." But then I set the record straight at the speakeasy. I pulled Brendan Patrick aside because there was there was food, right? There was like hot wings and celery and ranch and blue cheese. And I pulled Brendan aside. I was like, "Hey, just so you know, this is blue cheese, not mayonnaise." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
Who are you?
Isn't blue cheese just like mayonnaise with cheese in it?
It's a little more complicated than that. Don't be so reductive, Gary. But
yeah, Saturday was great. You slept in your coffin again, right?
slept in my coffin again. But yeah, tell me what happened on Sunday because I wasn't there.
So we played in the Battle Hardened on Sunday. I sat the way deck construction works for the Battle Hardened is you have to open your packs with your opponent with somebody sitting across from you. Kind of like Magic, if you've ever done it in Magic. Tom's played some competitive limited events in Magic, and he likes to look left sometimes when he does that. So just so you know, Tom, you're not supposed to look at other people's cards, and other than the person across from you in this case. But essentially, you open your packs in front of your opponent, who's your opposing person, and then they fill out your deck list to make sure that you're not adding in cards and make sure that everything is all good. So I sit down, and there's nobody across from me, and then I'm waiting, and I look at my gem, and I realize that the person who's supposed to be checking my deck list is Brody Spurlock, who is literally sitting at a top 8 table. Playing in his top 8 match, but he lost the top 8 match just in time to come over to the table and sit down, and we built our decks together, and it was good. It was good. I did really bad, but the people that I lost to did really well. James, I forget his last name, James Adams, I think, like the president.
Shout out.
He got top 8 of the Battle Hardened, so he kicked my ass. And I lost to a Green Tree bud. I think his name was Josh. I think he was top 16 too. He kicked my ass. And then Greg and I got lunch again. So it was a great time. We had some lunch with Dagan. Well, Dagan was playing, but we got lunch for Dagan. We got Arby's, which Arby's has pretty good mozzarella sticks. Like, for some reason, like, I don't understand why they're allowed to have like really good mozzarella sticks.
Well, they are an Italian restaurant. Arby's.
Okay.
Anyway, and what'd you do for dinner? Because I saw the cute pictures of you two together.
Yeah, so me and Greg, we had a wonderful day after the Battle Hardened. But I do before we do this, I want to shout out one thing about Sunday at the event. We played this sealed format that Dagan told me about. So Dagan White, he's the guy that wears the Fab belt.
Yeah.
And
He's the anime character.
He's the anime character, yes. And when I was playing table tennis against Dagan at the speakeasy, I felt like I was in a tennis anime playing against the character. You know, I was like watching it in real time, but like in a VR headset, you know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great time. But anyway, so Dagan told us about this format, that the last format where he won the belt, it was called it was like sack attack pack battle extravaganza, where basically the guy who runs the event, he puts like literally 5 or 6 boxes into a giant sack, like just puts the pack into the sack, and then it goes around the table and everybody starts punching it. So Dagan has this video of the guy who runs the event passing around the sack of people, punching them. Logan Peterson's in there just like punching it. Somebody kicks it. Like it's a whole thing. It was so great. You pass around the whole bag. And then after you beat up the packs, everybody opens 3 packs, builds their deck, shuffles into it. You're not allowed to look at them. It's basically like a shapeshifter thing, but all the packs are beat to shit. And so we shuffle them all together, and the way it works is you can play any hero. At the start of your turn, you can choose a new hero. So like you look at your hand and you say, I want Arachne now, I want Benji now, right? And if you draw on a piece of equipment, it comes onto the battlefield and you just draw a new card. So you could literally just draw like a Marvel Codex of Frailty. This is so fun. It was so fun. Marvel Codex of Frailty. In that he said that and the giant sack, there was a Marvel, just like a little bent up. But the best part about it, okay, so you're not allowed to look at your cards, but some people would select Katsu in order to tutor to look at what your deck is. But once you lose, once the game is over, all the cards go in a separate sack to then beat that sack up. and then in round 2, you play with unopened packs from the original sack to then again throw those cards into the beat up open sack. It's just like so stupid, but I loved it. It was so fun. The best part, it's insane. But honestly, sleeves are banned.
Oh, I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Sleeves are banned. I mean, you can't use sleeves. That was my favorite rule personally. We didn't have the sack at the Realm event, so sure. I don't know if we really had the true sack battle experience.
Who carries a usable sack around wherever they go? I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna have to get Dagan to post that video in the Buds Discord, because it's wild. You see Logan just like.
Also, I gotta say, right, like Logan, and I love Logan, right, and he's always like speaking the praises of Iowa, right? Because they're all out from Iowa. There's tons to do in Des Moines, or as Des Moines as I like to call it. It's very exotic. He's like, there's so much to do. You got to get out there. There's no way there's enough to do that you don't create something like that to play Flesh. Like Flesh and Blood's already a really fun game. You don't have, like, if you are entertained and you have other things to do, you don't create the sack attack pack, whatever the hell it's called. That's insane, but I do want to play it, so that sounds awesome.
Me and Greg played it. We'll definitely play it. I'll bring a sack, perhaps, but not the pillowcase. You know, we don't want to damage that.
No.
But yeah, so that was a great time. We played that, and Dagan was showing us how to play. I mean, it was a great time. We got to play it. But then after the event, we were a little bit tired, and we went back to the hotel.
From punching the packs.
Yeah, from punching the packs. You know, we were a little winded from battling, because you're quite literally battling with the packs.
This is insane.
Yeah, so we got back to the hotel and we were like, what do we want to do? We don't really want to hang out too much with other people because we just spent the whole weekend. And me and Greg were just hanging out talking, you know. And I was like, have you ever been to like Fogo de Chao? And he was like, what's that? And I was like, oh. Okay. Okay. Well, it's not that like, Fogo de like you're in Pittsburgh, you could go to like a Pittsburgh restaurant, but like if you've never been to Fogo de Chao, like a Bud's date to Fogo de Chao is just like a great time. Just eat a lot of meat and, just like hang out and talk about life. So we went to the Fogo de Chao in Pittsburgh. And I got to say it was a great time. Um when you go into Fogo de Chao, if you've never been, okay, the biggest trap in all of Fogo de Chao is the salad bar. Because you go in there and you're like, oh man, the salad bar, they got a lot of different cured meats on there, a lot of different cheeses, a lot of, and it's like, you're very hungry because, you go in prepped, you didn't eat for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh man, salad bar's sitting right there. And we did partake in the salad bar, unfortunately. Whatever. We know we fell into the trap, activated whose ever trap card it was. But people came over, explained the whole situation. My favorite thing at there is the cheese, the grilled cheese with honey. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, I got one of the waiters to come over. I was like, do you still have the cheese?
Oh, we have the cheese.
And the guy was like, oh, we have the cheese. Don't you worry. So he brings out a cheese. He's like, hands it to us, and saw how excited we got. So then later on, he brings us out a whole platter of the cheese just for us. It's literally a whole like charcuterie board of the honey cheese for me and Greg. God. It was great. Yeah, because it was so funny because every time, because I'd been to Fogo de Chao before, but every time a guy came over with a bunch of meat, Greg's eyes got real big, and then he was when he the tongs, he was like, "What are these for?" And I was like, "Oh, you'll see," because he's just pulling it off, and he's just like every time he takes a bite, he's like, "I hate you."
Listen,
but
I will say, Fogo de Chao is good. And I'm going to disagree with you. I mean, I understand, like, from a value standpoint, the salad bar is a trap. But I do really like the salad bar.
Oh, it's a great salad bar. That's why it's such a trap, because you want it.
Yeah. Fogo de Chao was the first place I had to put a kibosh on, like friend outings at.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, because I have some friends that Will played Magic.
Yeah.
And his brother, they love Fogo de Chao for a good reason. It's a great restaurant. And I had to stop saying, but they are meat fanatics. It's not even like, they're like, this is the best place you can ever go because this is a lot of meat. I can't do it. I can't. Like, I walk out of there, I am already having this meat. I have the meat sweats as soon as I walk into Fogo de Chao. They look at me and it's like, this guy is going to die here. And like, I mean, I wish I was there with you guys because like, if I'm going to go back there, I want to do it with good company, but like, not to say my other friends are in good company, but it gets excessive when we're there.
Yeah. They need some self-control.
Yeah. And I would have enjoyed the cheese, like a nice break from the protein.
Oh my God. The cheese is too good.
Yeah. But anyway, continue. I just wanted to say that my piece on Fogo de Chao before we get going.
Yeah. But so what's really funny is when I this is a little bit preemptive to the story, but we were at the hotel and Greg called his wife just to check in, see what we were doing. And we told
Shout
her
out Greg's wife.
Shout out Greg's wife. Dr. Prentice. Dr.
Prentice.
And she was like, "Oh, Greg, you've never been to a Brazilian steakhouse?" And he was like, "No." He's like, she said, "You should tell them you just got engaged." and we were like, oh, honestly, maybe we could do it. We're both theater kids. We could do some improv, So while we're there, we were like, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe. And so we get there and we're just talking because, I'm very like, me and Greg, we're very vocal and, talking with the waiters and waitresses a lot. And one of the waiters comes over and they're like, "Oh, are you celebrating anything?" And Greg and I both froze. We didn't say anything. And we were like, "Oh man, we really should have lied. We really should have lied."
I would have.
I know.
That's why I should have been there, man. Because I said we all just got engaged to each other.
That straight face.
It is a throuple. Have you ever heard of a?
We love a lot of meat.
Yeah.
But the best part, we're eating a bunch of this meat. The one waitress comes by, and then a second waitress comes by and asks, "Oh, are you celebrating anything?" And we didn't lie. We still didn't lie. We froze. We froze. I know. It was a great time. It was a great time. But like, we walked out of there. You leave with the good mints. And then I said to Greg, I've got two big regrets in my life. One, not seeing Carly Rae Jepsen for $5 at the Trocadero. Big miss. Big miss. Second miss, we really should have lied.
Yeah, you should have. But also,
we really should have lied.
It's kind of funny that they asked you again.
Yeah.
Because you know that the servers were like, they just got engaged. Like, come on, look at them. They're so cute right now, right? They were like, oh my god, come on, let's just. But we won't assume by bringing them the nice stuff, but we have to ask. They said no initially, but maybe they're a little timid. It's Pittsburgh. This is not New York City, And
honestly, Radiata, we had time to think about it. We were in the hotel room. His wife said you should tell them we were engaged. We had the prompt.
That's
the
hall pass.
We had the script. Why didn't we? We should have lied. We should have lied. It's just, but
you live and you learn.
They brought out the whole tray of cheese for us because they saw how excited we were. Like it was in the timeline. We just didn't select A to take the quest.
It's all good. I mean, that's like losing to Reckless Swing, right? You lost to Reckless Swing. Now you'll never lose to it again, or you'll never go to Too Willingly again.
I came home and I told Paige, I was like, if we ever are in a situation where we could lie about being engaged, I'm lying about being engaged. And if the government's listening to the Budrush Bellow, and we know that you are.
We know you are. You can't find us. I'm using a VPN. No, I don't.
But yeah, so Sunday was great. Obviously, we hung out.
Greg's in chat. Oh my god, you just missed. We just talked a lot about you and Gary's relationship.
We really should have lied. And honestly, when we got back and we talked to Greg's wife, she was really disappointed in us.
Rightfully so.
We really should have lied. But it was a good.
I would have found a new co-host and a new producer on the spot. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
You know what it was? We were just having a good time, and we weren't feeling malicious.
Sure.
We didn't feel like lying. We're just,
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a corporation, Get back in the man.
Don't get me started.
It's corporations like Fogo de Chao is the reason our air quality is so bad right now.
Well, I will say, Fogo de Chao. I'm gonna give some credit. I'm gonna give some credit to Fogo de Chao.
Sure.
Pride, but also, Fogo de Chao used to be called Fogo de Chao Steakhouse, but they got rid of the steakhouse because they're trying to be more non-meat focused.
Sure.
Now it all stops when you have 18 people walking around with giant skewers of meat, and then they're all so good at it. They're like, what rarity do you want? And you're like, I want it medium rare. And they're like, okay, it's this subsection of this piece of meat, and that's exactly the rarity of meat. It's crazy. That's talent.
It is very impressive. I will say that. And
but yeah, that was the end of. Then Jeff and I drove back. Sorry, I don't mean to.
Jeff O.
Yeah, me and Jeff rode back to Lancaster together, and it was a great time, as every time with Jeff is. But what we found out was that the store that I one in chat,
one that cheese B should have lied.
Yeah, should have lied. So we're driving, and I'm just talking about like the stores that I go to play cards. And Jeff was telling me that he really missed this old emo club called Isotank in Philly. And he used to come here. He used to go there all the time when he was younger. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm sure there's something still open like that." And he was like, "I don't know, man. It was like a really old place right off of South Street." And I was like, "Wait a second. Where was it located off of South Street?" And he was like, "Oh, by that old Johnny Rockets." I was like, "Okay, I need a little bit more." Okay, and he, like, who was the owner? And he was like, some weird vampire guy named Patrick. And when he said, so when I say that this is a weird vampire guy, I mean that this man literally cosplays as a vampire in like real time, all day, every day.
He lives it.
All day. That's how he is. He is vampire. Plays EDH in like a duster, a giant leather hat, and like fangs. And this guy used to own the card shop before he sold it to the guy who owns it now. And it used to be an old like an emo club that sold records, and Jeff used to go party there, but now I party there.
So I have to imagine it's a different kind of partying, but Jeff, we love you.
Jeff, we love you. But it's just so funny that we have by happenstance we enjoy games in the same building, just 20 years apart.
Hey, listen, it's a small world, and it was a good weekend though. It was a good weekend. Pittsburgh was a blast, and I am sad that I didn't get to do Fogo with you guys, but guess what? There's gonna be
next time we can live.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Capolo in chat. Such a big winner. He showed up this week just like he did the other week, and when he won the playmat. And I think it's time to draft.
Yes.
Do you like drafting?
Oh, I love draft. Oh my god, I forgot we're still drafting.
We have a draft coming up. We're gonna draft what we think the legendaries are. I'll let you get first pick as always because you're the co-host.
Oh, is that why? It's not because I make the best picks.
No, because listen, we're not picking the same thing anyway. So what we're gonna do is we're each gonna draft 5. The coffin. We talked about the coffin. We're each gonna draft 5 classes, talents, or playmat's gonna ship out soon, but it is here, right here, Cap. It's right here, right next to me. We're gonna draft each 5 talents, classes, etc. of what we think the new legendaries are. There's 8 of them, so odds are we'll get all 8 right, but who will get a majority of that 8 right is the question.
Yep. And we'll have to keep this data so we'll be able to know in the future.
It's in the VOD.
Okay, well, my first pick is going to be Runeblade.
Woo!
Big surprises there. I think Runeblade's going to get something. I really hope it's a legendary offhand. It would be really cool.
Whoa. I imagine, yes, based on that one art we saw of Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. Yeah, I think it could be like, like Vincenzo. A stalagmite kind of thing. Like when you block with this, create a rune chant. If there's a shield that's
oh my
like...
God, that would be so cool.
Oh my God, dude. I would lose it. I would be screaming.
It's a little lazy. If that's...
It's a little lazy.
Yeah.
But if it's like, it could be something like Rampart.
Yeah.
Or like you have to pay 1 to block with it.
That'd be kind of cool. And yes,
then you're actually paying 1 for the
Darth. There's 8 L's. It's a lot like a typical Tommy Fresh record at a calling.
Most of those are 7 rounds, so I don't know what other L you're taking, but
usually I don't know. I got an IP penalty. No, I've never gotten that yet. But yeah, Runeblade's a good choice there. Offhand would be really neat. But I'm taking a really great pick here. Better than Runeblade. I'm just gonna go straight Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I could say Brute all I want, but we all know that Shadow's way more likely. So I think Shadow's I think we're gonna get something that works with both Vincent and Levia. I do not know if it will work with Chain as much, because Chain's still relevant because we're about to have the Living Legend format, but and Blitz, obviously. So, but if it can work with all 3, that's even better. I think that's awesome when they can pull that off. So, I mean, and we saw the one Shadow thing that we had was useful, or like at least legendary wise, Carrying Husk was useful for anything. So, Yeah.
Way too good, Carrying Husk.
No. It's just it's like a Valiant Dynamo without the work.
Yeah. It's a good point. Okay. So the next thing I think that we're gonna get, I think we're gonna get a warrior helm.
Do I have to say helm or just warrior? You're just taking warrior.
Just say warrior. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a warrior helm because warrior doesn't really have, like, they have the helm of the sharp eyes, crown of providence, but like how sick would a warrior helm be that, like, if you hit with, it could like if you hit with your weapon twice in a turn, you get a ponder token or something.
Yeah, that would be, I mean,
Blade break. Well, it probably wouldn't be blade break, but something like, something that's like not Mask of Momentum, but like kind of like Mask of Momentum, but for warrior.
that'd be pretty sweet. Now, that does bring up an interesting point. Ponder is the most elegant token they've created.
Yeah.
It fixes so many issues that a lot of heroes have, right?
Yeah. Honestly, the Eloquence token holds nothing to the Ponder token in Elegance.
Elegance or Eloquence or Eloquence is good. All right, what's my number 2 pick? I think we're gonna get. We're definitely not getting. I'm gonna cheat. Light.
Oh my god! Here he goes.
I'm not. It's not cheating. You didn't pick it. Although actually, I will say it's less likely that we get a light only. Than it is getting a shadow only, right? Because I think, I don't know. It's tough to say. I think we're getting a shadow fabled, if I were to guess. Although Tyson on Twitter said E-Strike, like alternate art for the fable, which would be really cool. But I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like as a fable, because you need to balance the shadow and the light, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
There are a lot of light legendaries.
Yes.
We just got 2 new ones. So I feel like getting one is probably likely, like you said, but I feel like we could get a lot of shadow stuff. So this one's gonna be out on a limb here. I think we're gonna get an elemental legendary.
Man, I thought you were going to be wrong about a lot. I didn't think you were going to be this wrong.
Because, so hear me out, right?
I'm hearing.
I know that the heroes that play elemental, they're, Icelander, obviously, Oldham's gone, but they didn't know that when they made the set. We are seeing a Briar card that is Earth.
True.
If we see some sort of elemental equipment, that would make a good reason for why heroes can, only play so that they have essence of, right?
Yeah.
So
you're saying elemental as in generic elemental?
Yes, but elemental specifically, because it would just be anyone who's an elemental hero can play it.
So Briar, Oldham, Lexi, Icelander. Okay.
Yeah, because like you could make an Earth shield, right? And maybe Briar could play it, but if you made an elemental leg piece, all 3 could play it, all 4 could play it. I don't know if they'll do that, because their elemental is very specific to Arya, but it would be really cool, and it's a long shot, 3rd pick. If I'm right, pretty sick pick. But if I'm wrong, who cares?
It's fair. And now for those of you wondering, like, I'm picking shadow only, I'm picking light only, but that does not mean Runeblade only, right? And warrior only. It could be light warrior, shadow warrior, whatever.
Or shadow Runeblade. Yeah.
Shadow Runeblade. Light Runeblade, doubt that, but I'm taking Brute.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I know you like to be wrong, but
well, here's the deal, Gary. That is your real name. So in Dynasty, we got the Light Warrior Legendary. Spirit of Arena, right? A pretty good buff for Bolton, right? It goes into play if you charge with it. It was baffling to me that we didn't get something that if you banished it from your graveyard goes into play for Levia. It makes a lot of sense to me. Kind of go along that design space. It could be something that is very helpful.
Like in the main deck.
Yeah, like something legendary, some kind of like item. I don't know how you get it into your graveyard, but what was that?
No block 6?
No. It's gonna just be an item. It's got to be an item, right? Like because you want it to be a permanent, right?
Right.
Or just like a red 6 that like when you banish it from your graveyard goes back into your hand.
Could be neat.
Could be neat.
Because it's still banished.
Still banished.
Yeah. Honestly, it would knock her up a notch. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would knock her up. All right. All right.
Alrighty here. I'm gonna take an easy one, and I'm gonna say Illusionist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say an Illusionist headpiece.
Okay.
Because we have a Majestic Illusionist chess piece from the last set.
Sure.
I think an Illusionist headpiece that could be something like, if you have 5 auras on the battlefield, you have +1 intelligence, something like that. Maybe it doesn't block, but it's just something that's like a passive value. Because what does Illusionist play at headpiece right now? Is it just like there's a Halos for Prism, there's the Royal one, but it would be nice. It'd be interesting to see like if you a headpiece that's just generic Illusionist, and it could help with that blue Illusionist who wants to have blues, and a lot of those auras are blues. And if you're keeping track of how many auras you have, I don't know, 5 auras is a lot, but I don't know. It'd be interesting, especially with
Illusionist.
Illusionist, especially with Ward and like Spectral Shields coming again.
Yeah, that could be cool. I mean, I think Illusionist is a pretty safe bet here. I would love to see the blue Illusionist in this set. Because we saw that one, was it playmat art for July?
Yeah.
And
the tricky one where the shoulder turns into mist.
Yeah. So I mean, they keep hinting at it. So eventually we're gonna get it. Now, I'm gonna take one that should have been pick 1 for either of us. Is generic.
Oh gosh.
I mean, that's a sure thing, Michael Fang, and generic. It just makes sense, right? It's a supplemental set. Give us a generic. Something I want to see more stuff like Vambrace.
Yeah.
It's a really intuitive way to kind of print a generic equipment legendary that isn't going to be $200.
Right.
And I think they're going to continue to try to do that. So
like Crown of Dominion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Crown of Dominion was a bad example. But Vambrace.
Crown of Dominion's only like $70 right now.
Oh, I thought you meant Crown of Providence. Yeah. Sorry. Saying Crown of Providence. That was expensive. Well, I guess they could just reprint Arcanite Skullcap. It'll be like $50.
White border.
What's your final pick?
Okay. My pick here, I think, now this is a stretch.
Sure.
What about Mech?
Oh, I was going to pick Mech, dude.
Took it. Yeah, I think Mech's due, It's your due. You're due.
Shout out No Control.
Shout out No Control, you're due.
Nick Bolas.
Because Nick Bolas, because this is a supplemental set, so anything goes,
Anything goes.
But also like Mech has 1 legendary.
You're right. That's pretty wild to think about.
Only 1 legendary. And like a Mech like legendary headpiece would be very interesting. I'm thinking headpiece here. I don't know why, because we're light on headpieces. Maybe just replacements for Crown of Providence. But if a Mech wants to build the Mech, they have to play Visitronic. But Visitronic isn't a great headpiece for non-arcane barrier matchups. So something that they can play over that would be nice. Or like you can sacrifice this to if you've boosted this turn to draw one card.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right on online with you. I think mech, it would be such a fun curveball to throw in this set, you know?
Yeah.
And then we can kind of start even theorizing about the shadow mech, which sounds the coolest thing ever for me.
Oh yeah, because they're boosting into their banish zone.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds awesome, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. I mean, like obviously, if you boost into a shadow card, you lose the go again. So like, there is
Not
a
if
real
they're shadow
cost
mech
there.
cards.
Well, yeah, but like if you boost into a ghostly visit,
Yeah.
like that's the end of your turn, and you take a damage, but then you also can finish your turn with a ghostly visit if you boost into some stuff. All right, what's my fifth pick? Since you took my fifth pick, I didn't see you doing that. Oh yeah, no, I got it. Shapeshifter.
Oh yeah, how did I not take this one?
I don't know how you didn't take this one. So we're just getting a ton of Cheyenne buffs via these specializations, right? And I don't know, like, and the Eloquence token is a buy a box promo for SCG.
By a case.
By case, sorry.
Even rougher.
It seems like there's a possibility that we get the CC hero version of whatever Shiana is, right? It might not be the same thing, but it could be something different, but still can use all the specializations. This would be a great opportunity for them to print an actual shapeshifter legendary that can support both Blitz and CC along with the adult Shiana. Shiana keeps popping up in all the lore and all that stuff, so it could be the time. Could be the time, Gary.
Could be the time. And you know what the last pick means? Could be the time for the end of the show.
Could be the time for the end of the show. It was a good show. You want to talk about your meal of the week before I set up mine?
Yes. I can't wait for this. This is innovation in live broadcasting, right? Happening behind my voice. But yeah, so today we went. My partner Paige and I, we went on a little date night to this place called Front Street Cafe. It has some of the best vegan, gluten-free, special diet foods. But on Wednesday nights, they do a all-you-can-eat pasta night. Now, I did not eat as much pasta as I thought I was going to go in. You know, pasta is really filling. But for $30, you get some focaccia, you get a salad, and you get infinite pasta of 6 different types. There was like a chicken mac and cheese. I had that one that was really good. There was a shrimp Alfredo that I had that was really good. There was a brisket stroganoff. Those were the 3 that I had. Insane, so good. So I had 3 courses of pasta, but again, the focaccia, the salad, it's a trap. It fills you up. You know, it's so yummy, but it fills you up. Had a nice passion fruit mojito. And then Paige got 2 or 3 other ones that were more vegetarian. I think there was like a fusilli one, and then there was a primavera. So good. Just nice to spend time with Paige because it's been a rough few weeks. Work for her, and I've been gone for work and schools, and that's work. Not doing school anymore, but for cards last weekend. So it's just nice to spend some time together. Are you ready? Is your meal of the week prepared?
Plug your things first, Gary.
Okay, I'll plug my things. So my things are, I'm Mr. Viz on Twitter. You can find me on there. I do a lot of rune chant, arcane related stuff. I also want to shout out, if you're in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware area, I've been doing some work with Dark Depths Games, which is that game store that I talked about that used to be owned by the vampire guy. We actually started selling and buying singles. The owner, Joe, and I have been talking about this for a while. But we'll be the first store in the city to buy and sell singles for Flesh and Blood. Not a lot of stores are doing it. Joe is kind of a great guy who is a really player first. Gives really great rates on selling and buying singles. None of this like there's a sticker and a binder and that's how much it costs. It's like whatever it is on TCG, we're gonna do a percentage of that kind of thing. So it's a nice store. They have a lot of Magic stuff if you really enjoy Magic, but we're starting a Flesh and Blood collection. So if you're in the area and you want to buy and sell some things, come on over. We're looking to buy some stuff to fill out the collection. And yeah, so really happy, excited about that. If you do stop in, just say, hey, nice to meet you. Let me buy some cards. And they're also, it could be a little confusing. It is a heavy metal emo record store that's constantly playing some crazy electronic music the whole time. But they also have a lot of like Warhammer games and Pokemon and Magic. And it's like, there's like a demonic altar on one side of the store. And then there's like every Pokemon box and every Magic card product and every deck box that you've ever seen, every color of Dragon Shield on the other side. So it's like if you like both of those things, it's quite literally the best store in the world. And even if you don't like both of those things, it's still my favorite store in the world because the owner and the community there is really player focused. It's not about oh, we need to make every dollar back on this box of cards. We want people to have the cards in their hands, So are you ready? Because I'm done plugging my thing.
Yeah, I'm ready. Dark Depths is awesome. I've been there. It's a good time. I'd like to get back there sooner rather than later. Before I get into my meal of the week, I will plug everything. Check out at Fresh Buds Pod on Twitter. Check out the Buds Discord. Check out the Patreon. Check out the Fresh and Buds podcast. Brian Gottlieb tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. And now, let me just switch.
All right. This is a surprise to me. I've got no idea what's happening.
So I was at Wegmans today, right, for work. And I was like, you know what? We're kind of running late on snacks at home. I'm like, how can I up my snack game, Gary? I'm like, how can I do this? And so personally, I'm a huge fan of the Snyder's of Hanover, not to be confused with the Snyder's of Berlin pieces that are flavored. This is the cheddar cheese. I think honey mustard onion is the goat.
Oh yeah,
this flavor.
How do you beat that flavor?
So
this one here has big flavor, but it's not the big flavor. The big flavor is honey mustard.
It's the big flavor. So I'm looking at the cheddar cheese. I'm like, I kind of want cheddar cheese, but I don't want just cheddar cheese, right? So like, I'm like, okay, so let me get this bowl here. So I got this bowl. So I'm like, well, what would enhance the cheddar cheese? And I look over just a few inches to the left of the cheddar cheese. They have jalapeno.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, what if, now I know you guys can't see it as well, but what if how about that? What if I combine the two together to make a cheddar jalapeno medley, almost like a jalapeno popper or any other kind of delicious concoction?
You're building a pretzel jalapeno popper right here.
I know. So that's what I'm going to do right here before the end of the show, before we say goodbye. So a little bit of those, a little bit of the cheddar, right? And for anybody who's stuck around this long, I appreciate you. And then we're going to go a little bit of the jalapeno.
Oh, very nice. But no honey mustard and onion here. So this is, you know what this is? This is excellence breeds innovation.
So this is an excellent chance for me to reach in, right? Grab a little bit of both, right? And you get a little bit of cheddar, a little bit of jalapeno, and then we're cooking with gas. And this is content, Greg. He just said, but
what's interesting here is this is not the first time I've seen this concoction in the marketplace. Have you ever had Cheez-It Duos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is reminding me big Cheez-It Duos energy, which are personally some of the top 5 favorite snacks. Honestly, next week top 5 favorite snacks is the draft. Easy.
100%.
Easy.
100%. Now, this is the first time I'm trying it. Right now, you're getting it live?
Live on air?
Gasolina.
Yes. Gasoline.
This is incredible. Everybody go out to your local Kroger, your local Food Lion, your local whatever. Weggies. Your Whole Foods. No, they probably don't have this. They're not cool enough. But hey, anyway, I just wanted to share that with the buds. Because why
Thanks
not?
for having your meal of the week with us. I can't even believe I got to experience that.
And that's my meal of the week. It's delicious. It is really good. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty freaking gas. Sorry. Got a little ASMR over there. But anyway, everybody, please have a great week. I love you all. Check out the Patreon. Yeah. I'm gonna eat these pretzels as soon as we're done.
Bellow.